were slapping against the cedar frame, in a rhythm that almost sounds like your name. I remember the smell of the lake water on your skin, and how the evening would let the first dragonflies in. You had a way of skip counting the stones on the shore, like you were keeping a tally of what we were for. We weren't a symphony, we weren't a grand soaring flight, just a low frequency hum in the tall summer light. It's a home made of memories, built in the reeds, so in the water with our forgotten seeds. It's the pull of the gravity, the tilt of the earth, a measure of exactly what the silence is worth. I'm tracing the circles where the campfire once lay, living in the indigo of a long faded day. It's a beautiful exposure, a radiant slow chill, to be loving a moment that's standing so still. Do you remember that dark with the wood turning gray, where we'd sit in the heat and watch the minnows all play? You'd find a piece of green glass smoothed by the sand and hold it up like an emerald in your sun-beaten hand. Now I'm reading the tide lines in the moss on the stone, tracing the shape of a world I've outgrown. I found a dried lily in the fold of a map, a soft yellow secret caught in time's trap. They say that the current is a physical law, that it pulls at the edges and finds every flaw. But I'm anchoring down in the silt and the clay, refusing to let the water carry you away. If I take a step forward, the signal will break, and I'm not ready for the silence that it's gonna make. Yeah, it's a home made of memories, built in the reeds, so in the water with our forgotten seeds. It's the pull of the gravity, the tilt of the earth, a measure of exactly what the silence in the world. I'm chasing the circles where the campfire once lay, living in the indigo of a long faded day. It's a beautiful exposure, a radiant slow chill, to be loving a moment that's standing so still. The crickets are slowing, the water is flowing, but I'm staying on the bank, staying in the blank, a home of memories, just for a moment, just for a moment, stay. Swallows are gathering on the telephone line in a jagged black row, like a warning sign. I remember the way you'd pull the loose thread from your cuff, as if the world we were building was never enough. You had a laugh that sounded like water on stones, a frequency humming deep in my bones. We weren't a mountain, we weren't a permanent thing, just the shivering green at the start of the spring. Now I'm caught in between the leaf and the root, between the high blossom and the fallen bruised fruit. It's a motionless fever awaiting the knees, like the heavy damp silence of the hollowing trees. I'm standing in the doorway where the air starts to chill, watching the clock but making it stand still. It's a beautiful bird and a sweet steady rust to be holding a handful of gold-colored dust. Do you remember the field where the grass was so high? It felt like we were swimming in a piece of the sky. You'd find a dandelion and blow the seeds to the west, while I'd listen to the frantic little beat in your chest. Now I'm reading the weather like a letter you wrote, wearing the silence like a heavy wool coat. I found a pressed clover in a book on the shelf, a version of us that I keep to myself. They say that the orbit is a perfect closed loop, that the eagle is destined to eventually swoop. But I'm hovering here in the gray afternoon, waiting for the sun to make peace with the moon. If I take a step forward, the memory fades, and I'm not ready for the light to pull back into shades. Yeah, I'm caught in between the leaf and the root, between the high blossom and the fallen bruised fruit. It's a motionless fever awaiting the knees, like the heavy damp silence of the hollowing trees. I'm standing in the doorway where the air starts to chill, watching the clock but making it stand still. It's a beautiful bird and a sweet steady rust to be holding a handful of gold-colored dust. Not quite leaving, not quite home, just a seed in the garden that hasn't quite grown. Caught in between the then and the now, I'm still here, I just don't know how. The refrigerator kicks into a low metallic hum, and the morning light is pale as a bruised winter plum. I remember the way you'd spill the sugar on the wood and draw little circles where our future once stood. You had a blue ceramic mug with a chip on the rim, and you'd hum that old hymn while the shadows grew dim. We weren't a symphony, we weren't a grand soaring flight, just a slow burning candle in the middle of the night. Now it's the quiet architecture of these broken hearts, a counting of the minutes and the falling into parts. It's the smell of cold coffee and the weight of the air, the pressure of a silence that is more than I can bear. I'm tracing the scratches where the table used to be, living in the wreckage of a you and a me. It's a beautiful burden, a radiant slow ache, to love every splinter of the heart that had to break. Do you remember that box with the tangled up string, where we kept every ticket and every small shiny thing? You'd find a copper penny from a year we didn't know, and tell me it was lucky just to watch the metal glow. Now I'm reading the labels on the jars in the back, trying to fill up every hollow and crack. I found a yellow button in to the rug, a tiny plastic anchor that's giving me a tug. They say that the harvest is the end of the year, that the sky has to break just to finally be clear. But I'm standing in the kitchen, I'm hiding from the sun, refusing to believe that the story is all done. If I take a step forward, the image starts to fray, and I'm not ready for the light to take the memory away. It's the quiet architecture of these broken hearts, the counting of the minutes and the falling into parts. It's the smell of cold coffee and the weight of the air, the pressure of a silence that is more than I can bear. I'm tracing the scratches where the table used to be, living in the wreckage of a you and a me. It's a beautiful burden, a radiant slow ache, to love every splinter of the heart that had to break. The kettle is whistling, the floorboards are cold, but I'm staying in the story that we never quite told. Broken hearts still beating, still beating. The wind is a needle, sewing the white to the gray, over the ridge where the summer got carried away. I remember the heat of your breath on my neck in the pines, and how we'd read the future in the mountains' jagged lines. You used to sharpen a branch with a stone and a prayer, watching the bark fall away into the thin frozen air. We weren't a bonfire, we weren't a bright blinding light, just a low frequency hum in the middle of a winter night. Now it's an empty reach through the ice and the gale, tracing a map where the landmarks all fail. It's the taste of the copper and the weight of the snow, friction of everything we had to let go. I'm measuring the altitude and the beat of my chest, looking for the warmth of the bird in the nest. It's a jagged kind of mercy, a radiant chill, to be loving a memory is standing so still. Do you remember that lake where the water turned to flint, and the way your eyes caught the very last emerald tint? You'd find a hawk's feather, a sharp and silver thing, and tell me it was heavy with the logic of a wing. Now I'm reading the tracks of the deer in the mud, tracing your initials in the pulse of my blood. I found a piece of quartz in the pocket of my coat, a cold and heavy anchor for a heart that couldn't float. Glacier is a slow-moving law, that it pulls at the edges and finds every flaw. But I'm anchoring down in the silt and the clay, refusing to let the winter carry you away. If I take a step forward, the signal will break, and I'm not ready for the silence that it's going to make. Yeah. It's the taste of the copper and the weight of the snow, the friction of everything we had to let go. I'm measuring the altitude and the beat of my chest, looking for the warmth of the bird in the nest. It's a jagged kind of mercy, a radiant chill, to be loving a memory that's standing so still. No echo, no scream, just the slow, steady leak of a half-finished dream. An empty reach, the gravity of us turning to iron, turning to dust. The frost is creeping up the garden gate in a jagged line that looks like fate. I remember the way you peel an orange in the sun and give me the biggest piece. When you were done, the juice would stain your palms a sticky sunset gold, a tiny warmth against a world that was turning cold. We weren't a tragedy, we weren't a grand design, just two heartbeats tangled like a wild blackberry vine. Now it's a fragile forever, a thin paper wing, the quietest note that a person can sing. It's the smell of the pine needles crushed underfoot, a fire that's gone but left behind the soot. I'm tracing the rings of a fallen oak tree, counting the years that you stayed here with me. It was soft as a feather and sharp as a thorn, a love that was tired before it was born. Do you remember the bridge where the iron was red, and the way the river sounded like things left unsaid? You drop a dry leaf and watch it spin in the air while the wind made a mess of your winter-blown hair. Now I buy the bread that you said was too sweet, and I walk on the side of the busiest street. I found a blue pebble in the pocket of my coat, a weightless reminder of a sinking boat. They say that the mountains are moving each day, that nothing on earth is permitted to stay. But I'm rooting my feet in the mud and the moss, refusing to tally the gain or the loss. I'd rather be weathered and beaten by the sky than live in a place where I don't wonder why. It's a fragile forever, a thin paper wing, the quietest note that a person can sing. It's the smell of the pine needles crushed underfoot, a fire that's gone but left behind the soot. I'm tracing the rings of a fallen oak tree, counting the years that you stayed here with me. It was soft as a feather and sharp as a thorn, a love that was tired before it was born. The light is disguising the hole in the dirt, the ghost of the hurt, fragile forever, like a leaf in the snow, just watching you go. The mercury is dropping in the glass on the wall, and the shadows of the oaks have started to crawl. I remember the way you'd pull your sleeves to your palms, and the way that your breathing was the greatest of calms. You had a trick of seeing shapes in the steam of the grate, a way of making the moment feel like a heavy weight of fate. We weren't a tragedy, we weren't a debt to be paid, just two colors in the fabric that were starting to fade. It's a late love story, written in the frost, counting all the seconds and the things that we lost. It's the pull of the gravity, the tilt of the earth, a measure of exactly what the silence is worth. I'm standing in the center of a wide open floor, listening for the click of a phantom weight door. It's a beautiful shiver, a radiant chill, to be loving a ghost who is standing so still. Do you remember that orchard where the apples turned black, and the way that we promised we'd never look back? You find a hawk's feather, a sharp silver thing, and tell me it felt like the edge of a wing. Now I'm reading the cracks in the ceiling above, tracing the architecture of a hollowed out love. I found a pressed leaf in a book on the shelf, a version of us that I keep to myself. They say that the harvest is the end of the year, that the sky has to break just to finally be clear. But I'm rooting my feet in the mud and the moss, refusing to tally the gain or the loss. If I take a step forward, the horizon will shift, and I'm not ready to feel the weight of the drift. It's a late love story, written in the frost, counting all the seconds and the things that we lost. It's the pull of the gravity, the tilt of the earth, a measure of exactly what the silence is worth. I'm standing in the center of a wide open floor, listening for the click of a phantom weight door. It's a beautiful shiver, a radiant chill, to be loving a ghost who is standing so still. The harvest is done, the color is gone, but I'm staying in the field until the breaking of dawn. A late love story, just a cold, quiet spark in the dark. The projector is humming with a flickering light, throwing our shadows on the bedsheets tonight. I remember the copper of the pennies you'd save, and the way that the wheat in the valley would wave. You had a trick of catching the light in a glass, watching the spectrum on the tabletop pass. We weren't a tragedy, we weren't a debt to be paid, just a long golden afternoon starting to fade. Now I'm drifting away in dreaming arms, far from the clocks and the heavy alarms. It's a cinema of us on a loop in my head, the blue of your shirt and the things we once said. I'm tracing the grain of the floor where you lay before the red ink turned to permanent gray. It's a jagged kind of mercy, a hollowed out thrill, to be loving a memory that's standing so still. Do you remember the taste of the rain on the plum? How the air in the orchard would vibrate and hum. You'd find a bird's egg, a speckled and fragile thing, and tell me it felt like the pulse of the spring. Now I'm counting the beats of the fan on the wall, waiting for something besides the evening to fall. I found a dry thistle in the fold of a map, a sharp little secret caught in time's trap. They say that the tide is a physical law, but I'm looking for exits that I never saw. I'm anchoring down in the silt and the sand, refusing to let go of a vanishing hand. If I wake up for good, then of your shirt and the things we once said. I'm tracing the grain of the floor where you lay before the red ink turned to permanent gray. It's a jagged kind of mercy, a hollowed out thrill to be loved in a memory that's standing so still. Dreaming arms wait for the flicker, wait for the gold. The clock on the mantle has forgotten the hour, like a garden reclaiming a withered flower. I remember the gold of the porch light on your hair, and the way that the oxygen changed when you were there. We used to map out the stars from the hood of my car, two dreamers who didn't believe it was far. Now the constellations look like silver debris scattered across the space where you used to be. It's an echoing heartbeat in a cavern of bone, the sound of a secret that I carry alone, a vibration of us in the hollow of me, like the ghost of a ship on a vanished sea. It's a beautiful burden, this weight in my chest, a love that survived every ending and test. I'm listening close through the dark and the cold to the story of you that my blood still has told. That my blood still has told. Had a scar from the summer ago, a map of a moment that only we know. You leaned your forehead against mine in the dark, and the world was reduced to a singular spark. Now I buy peaches and let them go soft on the vine, because sweet is a flavor that's no longer mine. I trace the cold porcelain rim of your glass and watch the long shadows of afternoon pass. They say that a sound never truly dies out, it just gets too quiet for humans to doubt. So I'm turning the volume of memory high to catch the soft breath of your very last sigh. It's not a goodbye if I'm still standing still in the valley of everything time couldn't kill. It's an echoing heartbeat in a cavern of bone, the sound of a secret that I carry alone, a vibration of us in the hollow of me, like the ghost of a ship on a vanished sea. It's a beautiful burden, this weight in my chest, a love that survived every ending and test. I'm listening close through the dark and the cold to the story of you that my blood still has told. Thump, thump, like a drum in the deep, a promise unbroken enough to keep. The rhythm is fading, but it hasn't stopped yet, the sound of a sun that refuses to set, an echoing heartbeat, yours, mine. Mine. The subway grate is breathing steam into the air, and the streetlights have that neon jaded glare. I remember how you'd catch the condensation on the glass, watching the late night yellow taxis blur and pass. You had a silver ring that clicked against your teeth when you were thinking of the world that lived underneath. We were a fever in a city made of stone, the only two people who didn't feel alone. Now I'm the static on a dead-end street, the rhythm of the rain and the cooling concrete. It's a jagged kind of mercy, this weight in my coat, a melody of us that's stuck inside my throat. I'm standing in the strobe light, frozen in the glare, breathing in the exhaust of a dream that isn't there. In the blueprints of the skyline, in the architecture's design, I'm the only hollow space you ever left behind. Remember that rooftop with the rusted iron stairs? We sat above the sirens and the midtown flares. You spilled your soda on my boots and didn't care, just laughed until the smoke cleared from the midnight air. Now I'm counting the floors of the buildings across the way, hiding from the logic of a bright and busy day. I found a matchbook from that bar we used to haunt, a tiny wooden relic of a ghost I didn't want. They say the city moves, it never sleeps, soars, slows, but I'm the vibration that nobody knows. I've turned into a pillar, I've turned into a wall, waiting for the gravity of you to make me fall. If I leave this corner, then the map becomes a lie, and I'd rather be a ruin than tell our love goodbye. Yeah, I'm the static on a dead-end street, the rhythm of the rain and the cooling concrete. It's a jagged kind of mercy, there's a weight in my coat, a melody of us that's stuck inside my throat. I'm standing in the strobe light, frozen in the glare, breathing in the exhaust of a dream that isn't there. In the blueprints of the skyline, in the architecture's design, I'm the only hollow space you ever left behind. Red light, green light, the city's moving on tonight, but I'm the shadow on the brick, I'm the clock that stopped its tick, left behind in the neon, in the cold. The telescope is aimed at a patch of empty sky, where the planets we named have all drifted by. I remember the salt on the skin of your palm, and how the eye of your storm was my only calm. You used to sketch maps on the back of my hand of a country that only the two of us planned. We weren't a collision, we weren't a grand burning star, just the humming of wires in a world left ajar. Now I'm the lonely surveyor of our lost world, where the flags of our secrets are finally unfurled. It's a beautiful orbit through the cold and the dark, to be the only one left who still carries the spark. I'm breathing the oxygen you've long since moved through, collecting the shrapnel that still tastes like you. It's a radiant hollow, a sweet, heavy blur, to be so in love with the person you were. Do you remember that roof where the shingles were loose, and the bottle of cider and the blackcurrant juice? You'd point out the satellites moving like ghosts, while I count the heartbeats that mattered the most. Now I buy the paper you like just to see the ink of a world that's forgotten about me. I found a small compass in the hem of my jeans, a broken reminder of what together means. They say that the universe is pulling apart, that distance is simply a law of the heart. But I'm fighting the physics, I'm slowing the spin just to stay in the light where our lives used to twin. If I take a step forward, the signal is gone, and I'm not ready for the white of the dawn. A beautiful orbit through the cold and the dark, to be the only one left who still carries the spark. I'm breathing the oxygen you long since moved through, collecting the shrapnel that still tastes like you. It's a heavy blur, to be so in love with the person you were. The lens is all cracked, the bags have been packed, but I'm staying behind on this desolate shore, a ghost of a love that isn't ours anymore. Our lost world, I'm still here, I'm still here. The neighbor's radio is bleeding through the wall, some old song about catching someone when they fall. I'm sitting in the kitchen, counting cracks along the tile. It's been 1,000 years since I've seen your crooked smile. You left a stack of books, a sweater on the chair. I still haven't moved them, I still imagine you're there, just in the other room, humming something low, before the world turned quiet and you had to go. Now we're just two ships passing in the dark of the mind, searching for a signal that we'll never really find. Static on the line where your heartbeat used to be, a ghost of a frequency between you and me. It's a heavy kind of hollow, a beautiful blur, to be so in love with the person you were, while the person you are drifts further away, lost in the static of a New Year's Day. Do you remember that diner where the coffee tasted like tin? We stayed until sunrise, watching the morning crawl in. You told me your secrets like they were gold in your palms, and I was the anchor, and you were the calms. Now I buy the groceries you used to prefer, a habit of love and a ghost that you were, the small of your back, the scent of the rain. How can something so sweet leave such a deep stain? I tried to call you in a dream last night, but the numbers were blurred in the pale blue light. I shouted your name, but the wind took the sound. I'm still looking for you, but I'm the one who's found that some doors close and the locks just rust, and even the brightest stars turn to dust. Yeah, we're just two ships passing in the dark of the mind, searching for a signal that we'll never really find. Static on the line where your heartbeat used to be, a ghost of a frequency between you and me. It's a heavy kind of hollow, a beautiful blur, to be so in love with the person you were, while the person you are drifts further away, lost in the static of a New Year's Day. Disconnect, I can hear the hum of the fridge. The silence is a bridge I can't quite cross, just a beautiful loss. Just a lost connection. The interstate hums like a low voltage wire, cutting through fields turned to copper and fire. I remember the way the dashboard would glow, reflecting the miles we had left to go. You'd lean your head back, eyes tracing the clouds, finding a peace that stayed clear of the crowds. You were the horizon, the end of the road, the only direction my compass ever showed. Now I'm a hitchhiker caught in a permanent lane, washing my soul in the gasoline rain. I'm anchored to asphalt, to the grease in the grid, 'cause this stretch of highway is where we both quit. It's a beautiful faded away. Remember that dining with the flickering sign, where the salt on the table felt almost divine. We trade our last dollars for sugar and heat, watching the winter retreat from the street. Now I park in the gravel and stare at the sky, counting the silver winged planes passing by. I'm waiting for a signal, a flash in the dark, to find the old flame in a cold dying spark. They tell me the world is a spinning glass ball, and if you don't move, then you're bound for a fall. But I'm holding my breath till the gears start to grind, refusing to leave all the wreckage behind. If I take one step forward, I'm losing the trail, and I'd rather be broken than let the memory fail. So I'm a hitchhiker caught in a permanent lane, the grease and the grit, 'cause this stretch of highway is where we both quit. It's a beautiful ruin, a wreck in the weeds, sowing the dirt with our forgotten seeds. I'm staying for the engine, smoking the gray, 'cause it's the only place you haven't faded away. The brakes are screaming, the sky is bleeding, but I'm not leaving. I'm staying for the ghost of the gears, staying for the weight of the years. The only reason, the only reason I stay. The masking tape is curling on the side of a cardboard box, and the empty closet echoes with the rhythm of the clocks. I remember the way you peel the labels from a jar, and the way you'd always wonder where the smallest pieces are. You had a trick of marking out the height upon the door, a pencil line of evidence for what we were before. We weren't a symphony, we weren't a grand marble hall, just a temporary structure leaning up against a wall. Now it's shattered to love again, like a mirror in the moon, looking for a cadence and a way to find the groove. It's the smell of the newsprint and the weight of the key, the friction of a future that no longer holds a we. I'm mapping out the carpet where the sofa used to stand, living in the hollows of a life we never planned. It's a beautiful exposure, sharp and steady aim, to love every fragment of the heart that had to break. Do you remember that attic where the roof was slanted low, and the way we'd hide away from all the people that we know? You'd find a copper washer, a cold and circular thing, and tell me it was heavy with the logic of a wing. Now I'm reading the instructions for a bed I have to build, in a room that's far too quiet, in a space that isn't filled. I found a yellow rubber band in the corner of the floor, a tiny snapping witness to the person at the door. steady leak of a half-finished dream. Shattered love, gravity of us, turn into newsprint, turn into dust. The evening is turning a deep shade of plum, and the world has gone strangely, beautifully numb. I remember the gold of the honey on your spoon, and how we'd wait for the pale paper ghost of the moon. You had a way of braiding the light through your hair, until the ordinary felt like a silent prayer. We were watercolor left out in the sun, bleeding together until we were one. It's the warmth of a candle that's already gone, the indigo stretch of a midwinter dawn. It's a resonance deep in the hollow of things, the vibration of bells that nobody rings. I'm holding the palette, I'm mixing the gray, trying to paint back the blue of that day. It's a vivid kind of lonesome, a radiant ache to love every shard of the heart that you break. Do you remember the copper of the old park gate, where we'd stand in the cold and we'd negotiate fate? You'd draw a line in the frost on my sleeve, a promise so quiet I had to believe. Now the kitchen is amber and the shadows are long, and the birds in the garden have changed their song. I found a dry lavender tucked in your coat, a fragrant soft letter that you never wrote. It's not a sharp ending, it's a slow fading glow, like the heat in the embers when the fire is low. I'm walking through colors that don't have a name, in a world that looks right but doesn't feel the same. It's the warmth of a candle that's already gone, the indigo stretch of a midwinter dawn. It's a resonance deep in the hollow of things, the vibration of bells that nobody rings. I'm holding the pad, I'm mixing the gray, trying to paint back the blue of that day. It's a vivid kind of lonesome, a radiant ache to love every shard of the heart that you break. The light is retreating, the colors are fleeting, but I'm still here, tracing the lines, still seeing the gold and the signs. The feeling I remember, the feeling of you. The power lines are humming a low metallic tune under the bruised and heavy light of a rising August moon. I remember the way you'd press your palms against the heat, watching the lightning dance where the sky and the tall grass meet. You had a trick of counting the seconds between the flash and the sound, like you were measuring the distance to the solid shaking ground. We were a secret frequency, a wild and jagged spark, the only two heartbeats that mattered in the dark. Now I'm out in the open with no roof against the sky, trying to stay warm in the how and the why. It's a shelter made of memory, a ceiling made of wind, the story of the places where our edges used to thin. It's a beautiful exposure, a sweet and sudden chill, to be standing in the path of a love that's moving still. You were the only clover in a field of bitter weeds. Now I'm just the garden that your absence always seeds. Do you remember that creek where the water ran like glass, and the way the dragonflies would shiver as they'd pass? You'd skip a flat stone and watch the ripples start to grow, tracing the circles of the things we didn't know. Now I find the river stones you tucked inside your coat, left behind like anchors for a heart that couldn't float. I still hear your laughter in the rustle of the leaves, a sharp silver needle that the evening always weaves. They say that every storm eventually runs dry and leaves a hollow quiet in the center of the sky. But I'm chasing the thunder, I'm running for the rain, because the sting of the water is the only thing that's plain. If I find a dry place, then I finally let you go. And that's a kind of winter I don't ever wanna know. Yeah, I'm out in the open with no roof against the sky, trying to stay warm in the how and the why. It's a shelter made of memory, a ceiling made of wind, the story of the places where our edges used to thin. It's a beautiful exposure, a sweet and sudden chill, to be standing in the path of a love that's moving still. You were the only clover in a field of bitter weeds. Now I'm just the garden that your absence always sees. Let the rain come, let the sky break. I'm staying in the center of this beautiful lake, my shelter, my open field, the only love that wouldn't yield. The fuses blown in the basement stair, and I'm memorizing the darkness there. I remember the way you'd strike a single match just to watch the golden glow begin to catch. You used to read the labels on the wine we couldn't buy, with a certain kind of mischief in your eye. We were a quiet riot, a soft and steady hum, before the winter made our fingers go all numb. Now I'm walking through the shadows of your stolen light, a silhouette of us against the velvet of the night. It's a gentle kind of pillage, a beautiful theft, to be so full of everything that you left. I'm reaching for the warmth of a sun that's gone down, a king without a kingdom, a head without a crown. You took the color with you when you walked out of the door, and I'm just the black and white of what we were before. Remember the orchard where the apples turned bruised, and the vintage camera that we never learned to use. You'd focus on the blossoms, I'd focus on your hands, building tiny castles in the shifting borderlands. Now I find your hairpins in the velvet of the rug, like iron filings pulled by a magnet's heavy tug. I still buy the perfume that you wore on rainy days, just to keep the memory from turning into haze. They say that energy can never truly die, it just changes its shape and its where and its why. So I'm looking for the heat that you radiated then, hoping it'll cycle back to find me once again. But it's cold in the orbit of a star that's moved on, leaving me to wrestle with the breaking of the door. It's a gentle kind of pinch, a beautiful theft, to be so full of everything that you left. I'm reaching for the warmth of a sun that's gone down, a king without a kingdom, a head without a crown. You took the color with you when you walked out of the door, and I'm just the black and white of what we were before. Click goes the switch, but the room stays the same. Just a hollowed out heart, just a whisper of a name, your stolen light. I'm still in the dark, still in the dark. The shoreline is jagged where the salt meets the grass, watching the ghost of a summer evening pass. I remember the weight of your head on my chest, when the world was a map and we were the rest. You didn't use words to tell me you'd stay, you just tightened your grip in that slow, certain way. Now the air is a static that won't ever clear, and the loudest thing left is the fact you aren't here. It's It's a voiceless love, a vibration in the bone, a frequency carried by the desert and stone. It's the pull of the moon on a dried up well, a secret that nobody's left here to tell. I'm reaching for syntax in the rush of the rain, trying to spell out the shape of the stain, a beautiful language we learn to forget, the softest of echoes, the longest regret. Do you remember the engine hum under our feet, and the way that the horizon and the blacktop would meet? You reach for the dial to turn down the sound, just to hear how the silence felt hitting the ground. Now I'm reading the clouds for a sign of your name, but the sky and the water are never the same. The scent of the pine and the cold mountain air is a ghost of a touch that I'm forced now to bear. It wasn't a scream or a crashing of glass, just a slow-moving shadow on the overgrown grass. The sentences faded, the ink turned to gray, until there was nothing but yesterday left to say. It's a voiceless love, a vibration in the bone, a frequency carried by the desert and storm. It's the pull of the moon on a dried up well, a secret that nobody's left here to tell. I'm reaching for syntax in the rush of the rain, trying to spell out the shape of the stain, a beautiful language we learn to forget, the softest of echoes, the longest regret. Listen to the wind in the wires, listen to the dying of the fires. No words left to borrow, just a quiet tomorrow, a voiceless love, held in the hollow. The street lamps hum a low electric blue, reflecting off the glass where I look for you. Not a ghost in a hallway or a shadow on the wall, but the way you used to lean before you choose to fall. You had a way of breathing that calmed the city noise, a steady, quiet anchor in a world of broken toys. Now the air feels thin, like paper mache, and I'm folding up the hours of another empty day. It's the pull of the tide against a jagged shore, a slow goodbye where I'm wanting more. It's the scent of the asphalt after the rain, a nectar that's heavy with the weight of the stain. I'm memorizing shadows and tracing the lines of a love that was written in shorthand and signs. We're unraveling slow like a velvet sleeve, too stubborn to stay and too hollow to leave. I remember the salt on your skin by the lake, the forever promises we knew we'd break. You bit your lip when you were trying to lie, and the sun got caught in the corner of your eye. Now I catch myself talking to the passenger seat, adjusting the mirrors for eyes I won't meet, the radio scanning through static and bone, searching for a frequency that feels like home. It isn't a crash or a sudden descent, it's the slow, steady leak of the time that we spend. It's a library book with the last page torn, a celebration of something we're starting to mourn. It's the pull of the tide against a jagged shore, a slow goodbye where I'm wanting more. It's the scent of the asphalt after the rain, a nectar that's heavy with the weight of the stain. I'm memorizing shadows, I'm tracing the lines of a love that was written in shorthand and signs. We're unraveling slow like a velvet sleeve, too stubborn to stay and too hollow to leave. Wait for the sunset to turn into gray, wait for the words that we're too tired to say, just a slow goodbye. The ink is still wet, I'm not through with you yet. Slow goodbye. The compass needle is spinning in a frantic white blur, lost in the map of the person you were. I remember the way you'd pull the curtains at 5, just to feel like the darkness was something alive. You had a scar on your knuckle, the jagged white line, a history of battles that weren't yours or mine. We weren't a symphony, we weren't a grand soaring song, just a low frequency hum that went on far too long. It's the silent fall of a mountain of salt, a slow motion crumbling that nobody can hold. It's the weight of the wound and the density of lead, the math of the things that we left in the bed. I'm measuring the air in the center of the room, trapping the scent of a midnight in bloom. It's a beautiful friction, a heavy warm ache, to be the only thing left that didn't quite break. Do you remember the bridge made of timber and tar, and the way that the river looked like a jagged black scar? You'd spit in the water and watch it go gray, while the sun took its time just to wither away. Now I'm counting the tiles in the bathroom at 3, in the harsh fluorescent light of a world without we. I found a brass key in a box on the shelf, a door that I'm forced now to open myself. They say that the orbit is a circle of stone, that everything eventually ends up alone. But I'm digging a trench in the frost and the mud, tracing your name in the pulse of my blood. If I take a step forward, the horizon will shift, and I'm not ready to feel the weight of the drift. Yeah, it's the silent fall of a mountain of salt, a slow motion crumbling that nobody can hold. It's the weight of the wound and the density of lead, the math of the things that we left in the bed. I'm measuring the air in the center of the room, trapping the scent of a midnight in bloom. It's a beautiful friction, a heavy warm ache, to be the only thing left that didn't quite break. No echo, no echo, no scream, no scream, just a slow, steady leak of a half-finished dream. The silent fall to dust. The ferns are curling tight against the coming frost, in a green and heavy silence for everything we lost. I remember the way you'd peel the moss from off the bark, and how your eyes would catch the very last of the ember spark. You had a way of walking that didn't leave a sound, like you were careful not to wake the secrets in the ground. We weren't a mountain, we weren't a stone that couldn't break, just a pattern in the water that a fallen branch would make. It's the soft ending of us, like the melting of the snow, a slow and steady sinking that nobody has to know. It's the smell of dampened earth and the weight of mountain air, the vibration of a name that is no longer really there. I'm tracing out the circles where the ancient timber fell, listening to the quiet at the bottom of a well. It's a beautiful surrender, a sweet and silver ache, to be the only one who didn't find the path to take. Do you remember that creek where the water ran like wine, and how we'd watch the sunlight through the needles of the pine? You'd find a hawk's feather, a sharp and jagged thing, and tell me it was heavy with the pressure of the wind. Now I'm reading the shadows as they stretch across the grass, watching the long and hollow seasons start to pass. I found a piece of quartz in the pocket of my coat, a cold and heavy anchor for a heart that couldn't float. They say the world is turning to a rhythm of its own, that every seed is destined to eventually be sown. But I'm rooting in the thicket, I'm hiding in the shade, refusing to be part of the way the memories fade. If I take a step forward, the canopy will part, and I'm not ready for the light to hit a hollowed out heart. Yeah, it's the soft ending of us, like the melting of the snow, a slow and steady sinking that nobody has to know. It's the smell of dampened earth and the weight of mountain air, the vibration of a name that is no longer really there. I'm tracing out the circles where the ancient timber fell, listening to the quiet at the bottom of a well. It's a beautiful surrender, a sweet and silver ache, to be the only one turning gold. The story's growing cold, just a soft ending, a dissolving in the rain, a love that stays behind.